Reports are stating that Tottenham have just started the process to keep captain HeungMin Son at the club for at least another year. Winger set to join Tottenham in December. Bentancur to miss the next 7 games. Ashley Phillips is out injured and has just withdrawn from international duty. Allardyce has just had a pop at Spurs boss Postecoglou. And the leak shirt for the 2025-2026 season. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start with an update from Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano on the Tottenham Hotspur captain HeungMin Son and his contract situation. Fabrizio Romano has just stated that Tottenham have started the process to activate the clause to extend HeungMin Son's contract until June 2026, at least one more season for Son at Spurs. This is the plan of the club. Now, pretty much all of the media outlets have covered this next story about Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Rodrigo Bentancur. The Daily Mail in England have stated that Spurs star Bentancur is set to face a lengthy ban, 7 matches out, for alleged racist remark about South Koreans in major blow to Spurs boss Ange Postecoglou. Now, the player has responded to this whilst on international duty. Bentancur has come out and said, "My agent called me and said that there has been a notification that this was the sanction. So far, the club hasn't contacted me. I already knew more or less that where the hand was going. Now the sanction is out. I want to be calm here in the national team, and then we will see when it's time for me to go back there." Now, Uruguay, of course, take on Colombia. Bentancur said Colombia are a tough opponent. I don't take it as revenge because we did very well in the Copa match. Although it didn't work out, I had a knock that made me leave the pitch, but that is part of football. We have to take it 100%, and we've been taking it all games. We're very focused and committed. Now for an update on HeungMin. Of course, he will be joining Spurs later on in the season. Tottenham's HeungMin has been named the K-League 7 Select Young Player of the Month for October 2024. The Young Player Award in October was evaluated for a total of 3 games from round 33 to round 35 of the K-League 1. Held in October, a total of 13 players were nominated. Now, an update on the situation involving HeungMin. He was due to join Spurs in January. Well, that has changed now because Tottenham Hotspur have now requested that HeungMin joins the club in December instead of January as originally planned. The South Korean winger will have at least a 2-week break from the 23rd of November when the K-League season ends. Now for an update on Tottenham Hotspur defender Ashley Phillips, currently on loan at Stoke City. Ashley Phillips has just pulled out of the England Elite League squad with an unspecified injury. The 19-year-old centre-back on loan at Stoke City from Tottenham for the season was scheduled to play for the England under-20s against Germany and Poland over the next week. The Football Association has just announced that Phillips is among 6 players who have dropped out of the squad, and replacements have been made for the matches on Friday and on Tuesday. Phillips was withdrawn early, holding his shoulder in Stoke's 1-1 draw with Millwall in the Championship on Saturday. Former Premier League and England boss Sam Allardyce has been talking about Ange Postecoglou. This is what he said. "He must be totally different on the training ground than he is an interviewee. You know, there is a certain level you have to be pretty good at, otherwise people start questioning you. He might be the best coach or manager in the world, but people will question you because his interviews aren't very good." The 2025-2026 Tottenham Hotspur away shirt has been leaked by Footy Headlines. The shirt will be mainly black, white and grey. Now, it will be at least 10 years since Tottenham Hotspur had a black shirt, which was back in the 2014-2015 season. Now, if you are listening to this on an audio platform, please do check out YouTube for the picture of the shirt, or check out any of my media channels at Chris Cowlin, and I am also now on Blue Sky. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode. Let's start by talking about the leak shirt for the 2025-2026 season, the away shirt. I've got to admit, I really do like it, and I think the majority of people that have reacted to this so far, because I did put the pictures out on social media on Wednesday evening, I think the feedback has been very, very positive. Of course, there are some people that don't like it, but of course, Nike or whoever makes the shirts, you're never, ever going to please everyone. But I do think it looks extremely classy. And I can't wait to see the Spurs players wearing this shirt next year. Of course, it does remind me of a former shirt that we used to have in 2012. Gareth Bale wore it tremendously well, and of course did tremendously well as a Tottenham Hotspur player wearing it. So let's hope that we can be successful wearing this very classy shirt next season. Sam Allardyce has had a real pop at Ange Postecoglou and his interviews. Now, I've interviewed many journalists about Ange Postecoglou, many experts that have covered the Australian boss during his career or the whole of his career. Many of them have said that he can be very short in interviews and he can look down in interviews. Does that make him a bad manager? Absolutely not. I get the fact that some people, want to dig him out, and there are a lot of people heavily criticising Ange Postecoglou. And the only thing that I would say, and I'm going to keep this very short and brief, because I did write a very, very long piece a couple of days ago on social media, which a lot of people did agree with. Of course, there are some people that didn't agree with what I said, and a lot of people, it appears, want Spurs to go through this cycle again and appoint another manager and get rid of Ange. That is not where I'm going at all. I think that this manager has taken us forward. I do think that he has done a lot of very good work at this football club so far. He's only been here 5 minutes. He got us a 5th place finish in his first season. Many people wrote us off. We did actually nearly finish 4th. This season, I think he needs time. I think he needs patience. He certainly needs the tools. He needs the backing from the board. There is no point keep going, in this manager merry-go-round. Postecoglou is the 7th manager we've had in the dugout, including on going back to 2019, including Pochettino. So I do not want to keep seeing manager after manager after manager at the club. You need to give somebody, i.e. Ange Postecoglou, the time, the patience and the tools. And I think that that needs to come from the fans also. There is no point at all keep swapping and changing managers. Ange Postecoglou, I think a lot of people forget the absolute mess that Postecoglou walked into. The players he needs to offload, the players he needs to bring in, all of the issues off the pitch that I think week by week, month by month, year after year, if he gets the time, I think he has sorted and he is continuing to sort and he will sort in the future. But he does need the time and patience. I cannot say that enough. I understand people's frustration. Of course, I'm frustrated. I didn't want to lose to Ipswich. It was embarrassing. I don't want to lose some of these games. And I get, some of the recent records of Postecoglou, some of the wins, losses, etc. It's painful. It's hard to take. But a rebuild is painful and hard to take. The mentality needs to change. Postecoglou is changing that mentality. As the weeks go on, as the months go on, he is trying to change that mentality. And he is also trying to change the mentality in the fan base. And I think that in itself is going to take a very, very long time. But I think time and patience is required here from everyone. Board level, backroom staff, and most importantly, the fans. The fans need to get behind this team, need to get behind the manager. This isn't me being a happy clapper. This is me being realistic. I'd ask anyone, you want to sack Ange Postecoglou at this stage, then what? Who are you bringing in? I think some people think that they're playing Championship Manager or FIFA sometimes. Oh, just go and get him, do this, do that. It doesn't work like that. Be realistic about it. And be realistic in knowing and factually, Ange Postecoglou has taken this club forward from when he walked through the door. Bentancur to miss 7 games. I think this is going to be a huge loss for Spurs. Of course, we do have a lot of injuries at the moment, and we have a lot of games coming up. I tell you what, I was booking in guests for the Spurs Chat podcast this morning for all of the games coming up from now until January, and wow. What set of games we've got coming up. Games are literally coming thick and fast. We're playing a couple of games a week. And, of course, when you want to fight on all fronts, League Cup, we've got League Cup coming up. We've got Europa League coming up. We've got all of these league games coming up as well. And, of course, early January, FA Cup starts. So we're going to need every single player fit and available. So, yeah, Bentancur is going to be a big miss. HeungMin Son... Spurs are starting the process to keep HeungMin Son at the club for at least another year. Sonny is my all-time favourite player. Absolutely love the guy on and off the pitch. He is an absolute superstar. Yes, I think I do agree with a lot of people saying that he has lost a yard of pace. Is he the player that we've seen in the last couple of years? Probably not. But can he still deliver the goods? Yes, he can. Every single game that he misses for Spurs, we really miss him. We really miss what he can do in a game. You know, he can turn a game. You know that he can put in a killer cross. Look at that cross in that Villa game. Absolutely world class. Laid it on a plate. And we know that he can score some fantastic goals as well. So I'd love to see Sonny end his career at Tottenham when that day eventually does come. And hopefully he is a player that does lift a trophy at Tottenham before he does retire or before he does move on to another club. But absolutely delighted with that news. I know some people are stating that, or some media outlets are stating that Sonny actually wanted a new long-term deal. But, this is in the contract. So I think that this was always going to be the case, that Spurs had that 1-year option. They extend that 1-year option. And I've no doubt that this time next year, they will be talking to Sonny saying, do you want to stay for another year or two, and hopefully that happens. If Sonny can still deliver on the pitch, then of course he is a player you will always want in the dressing room. He's always a player that you want on the pitch, or that game changer from the bench even. But it is all, of course, about moving forward, driving forward. The transfer windows, as I said on my post a couple of days ago about Postecoglou, the transfer windows and the backing always must continue with this manager and move us forward. So it's all about ambition. It's about driving forward, taking the club forward. And also what I said a couple of days ago on the post is that I really do hope that Ange Postecoglou takes the cup competition seriously, because, it is a very, very long time without winning a trophy. Even Ali McCoist on TalkSport said that he believes that Spurs will win a trophy this season, because on their day, on Tottenham's day, we can beat anyone. That's absolutely right. We have been inconsistent in the league, but if we can remain consistent in these games in cup competitions, there's absolutely no reason why we can't put the League Cup in the trophy cabinet this season. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe and well. Come on, you Spurs.